here I am again in 7 Days to Die, and this time I've gone slightly lower on the scale. So I've gone back to a place that's slightly greener, slightly lighter, and slightly easier. So I always, do underground bunkers, do sky apartments. I do all of those sort of things normally. They're all sort of mid to late game, because let's face it, that's where you get all the funky things. But I mean, what happens, if you're a bit lower down the scale? What happens if you're a starting character, starting player? Can you still live in a reasonably good place? Well, we're going to answer that. I'm going to take you to see a place that is here in the green zone. Relatively easy. He says relatively easy. It's a 4-skull POI. So, understand that it is going to be... it is going to be relatively difficult to take over. You can't just jump on the game and take out a 4-skull POI. Or maybe you can. Maybe you got good. Maybe it's not that difficult. Maybe you have it on easy. I don't know. But it is still a 4-skull POI. Pre-warning. So obviously you're going to want to take that, and loot it before you lay down any claim block. And also you've got to realise that by laying a claim block down there, you're taking out a 4-skull POI. So if you had any thoughts about going back, re-raiding it, re-looting it, obviously once you put a land claim block down, you're going to lose that. There are plenty of other sort of full skull POIs in the green zone, but just be aware that that's one of them. So, without further ado, I am going to have to jump on. Now, be aware that this is a modded version. Obviously, I am using mods. I'll post links to the mods below. But I don't see any reason why you couldn't adapt this even for vanilla. I realise a lot of console players do not have the ability to have mods, and some people just don't want to play with mods, and that's perfectly fine. Your game, your way. I am using mods. I will put the links below, and so let's go and take a look at what I've done. You're going to notice here as I do this, yes, so one of those mods is a true third-person view. And this monstrosity is by Little Red Sonja. Now, yeah, let's let this speak for itself. Seriously, I'm all for a fan of like B-dubs vehicles. I love that mod. I will always love that mod. It's brilliant, the choice of vehicles. But this caught my eye. I had to try it. And all I can say is I feel violated and yet happy at the same time. The sound effect for this bike, absolutely wonderful. This is Little Red Sonja's Barbie Davidson. Like I said, let's let it speak for itself. Listen to that sound. I love it. Now listen to this sound and then you feel as violated as I do. This is the horn. I feel violated. I really do. Anyway, bright pink colour aside, let's head on to the POI. Let's hope I can even remember where the POI is. Oh, I love the sound of this thing. It's brilliant. Now you might be thinking, yeah, it's bright pink. Don't worry, that's why they have dyes, and that's why they have a cosmetics section for this. And you would normally be quite right. You would normally be quite right. There is a perfect place for cosmetics. Incidentally, this can absolutely take more mods than a normal vehicle. So that's the. I mean, I don't care what you say. This is stylish. This is a bit pink. To be honest with you, I hate pink, but yeah, but it's a bit pink, but. I mean, you do get, a bit with this. So when we have a look inside, you'll notice that there are more than usual spaces for mods here, okay? Yeah, you'll have to excuse all the mod creativity stuff here. As I already said, I've been building in creative mode. I know, you damn cheat. It's not something I haven't done before out of creative mode, so So we have more than your usual mod slots here, you know, for a bike. And I mean, it's really pretty cool. Let's have a look in the inventory. Here you can see plenty of inventory space. And you're probably thinking, well, hey, listen, that bright pink, I'm not having it. That bright pink's going. You're right. That's what they created these dyes for, right? So let's put a black dye in there and boom, tough cookies. You're stuck with pink. I know. I feel violated too, but it's so cool. It is so cool. The colour is a violation. The horn is a violation, but you know what? It's like fungus. This really grows on you. You could quite easily travel around. I wonder what this is like for zombie killing, in actual fact. Oh, missed. Stay still. No. Well, there you go. This not only proves that this is extremely cool, but it also shows that I can't hit the side of a barn. Even travelling slow, you know, I'm probably going to end up editing this so I don't look like such a twat. Well, you know what, the killing power of this bike is probably pretty good if you have a good aim and you aren't as big a idiot for aiming as I am. No, can't do it. But I am pretty sure this bike could kill, providing you have somebody with decent sight and decent aim. Right, so here we are. We're outside Butcher Pete's in actual fact. Now, the reason I like this is I always go for reasonably high buildings. So, newsflash, you're not going to get away from the screamers. They are still going to find you here. And they are most definitely going to congregate here. If you put in as many torches as I have, then yeah, you're definitely going to have screamers. But hey, you want little XP bags, right? So I mean, they will turn up here. They will spawn other zombies. So, you know, prepare for a fight. That's all I can say. So anyway, how do we get in here? You can see I've already added a nice little shooting gallery on the front here. So I'm going to change to this, so it's not so much in the way. Uncle Ray's supermarket, but we're not. We are at Butcher Pete's. You can see in the top right, Butcher Pete's. It is a 4 skull. So I put my my ladder up the side here, and let's head in. Now I've done the unusual thing here of actually turning this into a Blood Moon base as well. I normally wouldn't do that. I'll be perfectly honest, I would not have a Blood Moon base in the same place I have my main base, because I don't want to lose my materials. That's right, I'm a chicken. I don't want to lose any of those materials that I've been out and harvesting. I don't want to lose any of that stuff. So I wouldn't normally do that, but I don't think you can always be fussy when you're starting. I have done this before, and let's face it, at the start you probably don't have that many materials. Not that that means you can risk them, but hey. So I'm just going to open the door here. As you can see, like I said, shooting gallery out here. Because most of your zombies are going to turn up. They are going to go underneath you, because obviously, you know, they're scripted that way. They will try to get underneath you. They will try to undermine the stability of the place. But it's incredibly unlikely. I have found most of the time they will knock out a few walls and a few places to get to you, but they won't actually remove the stability of the building. So you are reasonably safe when it comes to that. As you can see, I've actually locked these to the sides here, and I've actually used so I've actually used the scaffolding, because as far as I'm aware, you can still shoot through the scaffolding, and you will find things like cops can't shoot back through. Probably shouldn't have too many of those at the start, but who knows, you might do, obviously as your game stages go up. And who knows how long you'll be using this place for. Some people are fast players, you probably won't use this place for very long. And therefore, you know, you'll be done with here pretty soon. And other people, well, yeah, you might want to play slower. You might take your time. You might end up spending quite a while here. So the Blood Moon base. Yeah, this is actually a pretty crap Blood Moon base, to be honest with you. But, you know, at the start, it's cobblestone. You have your usual walkway up. There's some steps down there. It comes up to here. Now, during the night or day when I don't want to be pestered so much, we'll drop that out. Now the zombies do not see a path up here, so they won't come up here. When I want the zombies to come up, we close the door. There we go, shut. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. This is, you know, not an ingenious new invention or anything else. You've seen it. It's been done. Plenty of other people out there who would show you the same thing or better. Way better. I'm not here really to show you a Blood Moon base. I'm just saying that for once I put the Blood Moon base in the same place. So if you want, you know, minimum work, I would say, or fairly minimum work, there you go. Blood Moon base and home all in one. We'll go out and take a brief look, just in case there might be some who are curious. I doubt it, but there might actually be some who are curious. So let's go over. Okay. Like I said, it's probably one of the simplest of Blood Moon bases you'll see. I have tried and tested it. You know, not done badly at all. Survived sort of starting ones. But, you know, you do your own thing. Create your own bases. Like I said, a few blocks up here. Little pole for walking across. There we go. Up to there where I can hopefully stab them and kill them. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple, very easy, and that is it. But again, you know, it incorporates a Blood Moon base into your base, and I mean, yeah, but what happens if they break through those bars? What happens if they actually break through those bars and then break into your house? I mean, you don't want the undead in there. Well, I mean, maybe you do, but I certainly don't. So, you know, what's that all about, Tal? Why would you do that? Let's close that up. I am a fan of closing doors behind me. I wasn't born in a barn. Okay, so there we are just going to flip that down so they don't see a pathway up here, because I don't want up here. But if they do break in, I mean, that's my Blood Moon boxes just there. That's where I'd put any ammo I have or meds or anything else. Well, then you can always go up here. Now, this is the base proper, and as I said, I am using mods. Now, just recently, Red Sonja has updated her Unnecessary But Beautiful mod. It was originally done by Hernan, then I think Zatensity took over it, and now Red Sonja has her hands on it, and she has fixed quite a few errors. She is intending to do quite a few things with it, so you know, I know some people would be very practical and would not necessarily want that, but trust me, this is definitely something you want. Again, just because we live in the apocalypse does not mean you need to live in a shithole. It doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. So, with that being said, you're going to see some of the furniture here that is quite obviously not vanilla. So, as you can see, you know, I have a nice little modern couch here. This is one of the Unnecessary But Beautiful, along with the table and with a little Ferris wheel. Also the picture you see over there and the picture downstairs and the TV just there, which incidentally, these things are, if you get them, so easy to operate. Again, you just got your normal wire tools, vanilla wire tool, nothing special. There we go, pop it down there. And to get it active, you actually don't need to attach it to any electricity whatsoever. There are no generators in this base, I tell you. If you do hear any humming, it's from the actual POI itself. They have the refrigerators downstairs. So how do you get this working? Well, it's quite simple. I'm on controller, but basically you attach the wire. You may have to wait for it to do that, so you might be clicking and thinking, what the hell's going on? Sometimes the hitbox can be a little bit difficult to grab hold of, or sometimes there can be a short delay. Just wait for it. As you can see, there's the wire. You see the wire, but we do not need to attach it to electric, so just click off of it. There we go. And that will, in actual fact, have it on. So at that point, you should be able to turn it off and on as you wish. And the same with any of these things here. It's so simple, honestly. The materials, yeah, some of the materials can be a bit expensive. So if you're a starting character, you may well not be starting off with the stuff I mean, some of it's going to include steel. Well, if you're like me, where again, you know, you really want your base to be pretty but practical, go and rent some streetlights. Go and rent some vending machines. You'll get steel that way. And I know some of you are like, well, there are better things to spend that steel on, and you are quite right. Again, your game, your way. If you have better things to spend steel on than decorating, go ahead, you do that. So along here, whether you're playing vanilla or whether you are playing modded, again, there's your ladders up here onto this balcony, and then storage boxes along here, because you may need to put stuff in there quickly. Again, you know, you might want your weapons, armor mods, or anything else in there. And of course, what you're really going to want, if you're not using crafting containers like me, then you're going to want that a bit closer to your workroom. Okay, as you can see, my land claim block's just there. These doors are not normal doors. Again, they're the unnecessary but beautiful doors. There is a whole variant helper with a wide range of doors on there. Some powered, some not. Again, you can make your choice and selection. As you can see now, we're just about to move into the kitchen area. Now, obviously, with a vanilla build, you'll already have your kitchen cupboards and everything else. You don't necessarily need to decorate. I mean, they look like shit, to be perfectly honest, but you do have them in place, and you don't necessarily need all this decoration here. Again, you can see, unnecessary but beautiful, but you don't necessarily need that. If you can't have mods, don't want mods, quite easily put your camping fire on the top here, put a box down, you can put your food in there. You can keep it just plainly practical, but me, no, actually, I like it this way. I've chosen to decorate up. These cabinets actually do take steel, so again, the beginning player, I don't know whether you're going to want to spend your steel on this kind of stuff. And like I said, this is not necessarily a starting character, but I have done it up the way I would like this, and I have done it up this way before, believe it or not. Yes, I spent steel on decorating my base, so sue me. So along here you can see, unnecessary but beautiful, we have a fridge here, which is normally where I will store food and stuff like that. Not that you need to, you put it anywhere. And again, all of these do actually provide storage, and if you notice, it's pretty good storage as well. My complaint is normally with these kind of storage that you get a few small boxes and it actually doesn't do a lot. You know, you get a minimum of storage. Well, anyway, if you're using this mod, then you'll actually find we do have some really good storage, and this little gas stove on the top here. That's right. It works. It's just the same as a campfire. It all goes in there. There's your beaker. There's your grill. There's your cooking pot. Nothing different here. Not that difficult. Recipes down the side. Food and drink. So I put some nice cabinets in here, so at least, you know, when I come back and I've got some cooking to do, I can do it all down here. You know, I can swap all of my materials, mats and everything down here. And so I think this is a reasonably good place, a good looking place to go to. So again, whether you're modded or vanilla, in actual fact, these windows, I haven't had to replace them. Again, Unnecessary but Beautiful has some marvellous windows in there that you could replace these with. I haven't. All I've done is repair the windows. You need a little bit of glass. 7 Days to Die players will realise that actually glass, yeah, you can get a reasonable amount out there. You can make it even. So, and the windows are wood, so really not that expensive to fix and make up. Now we're in the green zone, so you're really not at risk of storms or anything, but yeah, you can keep the elements out, you can do your windows up. Again, you can make it look fairly pretty. Microwave. Microwave for, again, lots of cooking needs. Me personally, I don't need it. I've got the cooking stove there, but you know what? I still like a microwave in the kitchen. It looks good. Coffee machine. Yep, well, where else would you produce all of your drinks? Just here. So, over here, again, this is an unnecessary room for a lot of people. It's pretty, door again by Unnecessary But Beautiful, and in here I've decided to create the bathroom into a bathroom, but a bathroom more of my liking, to be honest. Again, there's your toilet, nice and clean, rather than the even the fancy stained ones in the creation bit. Yeah, they look like they've been really used. Anyway, there's a nice clean toilet for you. Yes, the toilet paper's up here. Since we're dealing with block building here, I unfortunately could not place it down on the wall where I wanted it to. It just won't happen. It will not work, especially not in a small space like this. So anyway, the toilet paper's above you. Bath in front, you know, for those nights when you accidentally, you know, you're looting out there and you find some bubble bath and you suddenly come back and you suddenly decide, you know what, screw the zombie noise outside, I'll have a nice hot bath. Well, there you go. They've got you covered. Unnecessary But Beautiful gives you a bath that does not have every stain in the world smeared up the sides and around the tub. It's nice, it's clean. There are a couple of variants as well, actually. This is just one of them. And again, here we have anything with UBBI on, to save me repeating myself. Unnecessary But Beautiful. Lock that in. So we have our cupboards, we have our fresh towels there. Look, I've even got my little hand sanitizer and toothbrush up there. There you go. All the comforts of home. Like I said, just because it's the apocalypse, we don't need to live shabby, okay? Moving on. Bedroom. Again, not going to repeat it. UBBI. The bed as well. You can get double, you can get single. Yes, you can fit a double in here. If you want to remove all of the... I want to remove all the pretty stuff. I've personally chose to put some bedroom cabinets in here. And secondly, also, if I'm going to respawn, which does happen, sometimes a little bit too often for my liking, then I respawn in here. It's pretty quick. I can run through, grab some more meds and get downstairs quickly. So that leaves, what about upstairs? Well, nothing in here. Small room, that's fine. You can see, with Butcher Pete's you get plenty of room. So, heading up here, welcome to the workroom. Finally, Tal, we get there. Jeez. Yeah, that's right, we're finally at the workroom. Now, you know, again, as a starting player, I doubt you're going to have this many benches, but, and when you get up here, there is actually quite a bit of piping and stuff around here on the ceiling, so when you hack that up, you'll get plenty of iron from doing that. If you remove the stairway like I have, then you should be reasonably uninterrupted from zombies who will pound their heads out downstairs. Storage boxes over here at the side you will have to remove. Along here, that'll be a little bit of extra wooden material for you that you can put in your boxes. Chemistry benches, let's face it, you're unlikely to have those at the start because, well, you won't have reached that level by that point, I wouldn't have thought. Workbench, but again, I've put all the benches in here to give you an idea that yes, this base is a good starter location, but in actual fact you could carry it through. You really could carry it through, and by the time you get a motorbike, maybe you just want to travel the distances to the other places. Who knows? But as a workroom goes, this is pretty spacious. You know, a couple of people could all work in here at once. In the downstairs bedroom, remove the very nice and beautiful stuff and just put bedrolls down, and you could probably have 2 or 3 people living here, you know, with space, with ease, using this crafting room. And as I said, the storage boxes downstairs, yeah, you might have to grab your materials, run back up here with them. So, you know, you might be better off having your storage boxes up here. Anyhow, moving through, you'll notice I have remodeled slightly because when you first come in here, there is actually a bit of a gap in the floor. They have put half blocks in and little railings round. I actually removed all the half blocks and put in full blocks to make the floor entirely even. This was actually a double window just here, so you had the window there, there, and one below it, and I've removed that window and put in wooden blocks and then repainted it. Yeah, what can I say? I like building, I like decorating, I like remodeling. Up here, fantastic view of the neighbourhood. See all the way around here, so those would be snipers with your pipe rifles. Great place to look. I am actually not too far away from the snow zone, so this is almost a perfect place to live. A lot less hassle here, and then I can move over to the snow zone when I want to. Okay, so last things last. There's plenty of space around here. You could always have your garden outside. You can put your plots wherever you want. I, on the other hand, have chosen to have mine up here. So yes, I had to build this on there. There was much wood was sacrificed in the building of this little platform up here. That's because the roof itself wasn't necessarily large enough, so I've placed actual blocks down to create this nice flat area. So up here you can see I have a little area. Remember, I was in creation mode. That's why I have so many seeds and stuff in here, not because I've been out collecting. Although at this level, probably somewhere, yeah. I probably have collected that amount at some point, but no, that's all from creation level, for creation stuff, just to show you exactly how much room you have here, you know, how many actual farm plots you could place along the top here. Obviously, I have placed down 2 dew collectors, so I have one there, but I mean, you could have 4. If you wanted to have less farming blocks, you could actually place down 4, assuming you can afford them. And the farming blocks, this is just again to show you how much room you could have at the top here to place a garden, which means that you have free access to your garden without going outside, without having to risk the zombie infested horde to gather stuff. And it just means that once you've removed the stairs, you can jump down and deal with the zombies in your own time when you feel like it, and still know you're close to home. So up here, yes, you have plenty of space. Absolutely plenty of space once you've built this on top, and this really isn't that difficult. So you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm going to go into cheat mode. So as you can see, when I come out here, that's all it is. You can see there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 wide. So that's, yeah, that's, you know, 6 wide there. I've taken off the tip of the roof here and here, again more wood material. 6 wide, and you know, as long as the building, yeah, so you can take it all the way down, and that gives you more than enough room to put your farm at the top. It's very sweet, it's very simple, and I would say relatively easy to do. Obviously, how you want to paint it, if you want to paint it, is entirely up to you. Now, the reason I can fit these farm plot blocks in as far as I do is because you will see that I have actually placed plates facing outwards. So these plates facing outwards mean that I can place these railings on also facing outwards, which leaves the block behind here really, you know, free to build in. And that's why, because you may think, well, hold on a second, I can't get mine up there. That might sound a bit rude. What you can do is, as I say, with these plates, so I'm going to do this on purpose just to show you. I'm sure you already know. Oh, well, there you go. There's a mess up. So I'm sure you probably already know this, but I'm going to show this just for the sake of it. We want to copy shape and rotation. There we go. Put a block in. I'm actually going to copy. No, we need the plate first. So let's copy shape and rotation of that. There we go. So you can see I have a normal plate there. So let's place that down. And because that's plates there, I can now copy the bars here and the rotation, and you'll see that I can now place that. And you see the green blocks, the green box is facing outside. Boom. That would then leave me free to place anything I want to. And let's assume this little block here is a farm block. You know, I could now put it this side if I didn't already have the dew collector there, that is. But the dew collector is in actual fact a 3x3 taking up that space. So there you go. But you could place the farm block there. Just goes to show you how organised I am. So that's let's stop cheating now, he says. And stop going third person view. So yes, that is it. That is what I would call a very sweet and very simple little starter base. Now, as I said, I normally do sort of, you know, underground bases, you know, apartment buildings and everything, because I very much like that style. I like to stay away from the zombies as much as possible. I don't want my crafting or making things, interrupted. I don't want any zombie interference, so I will normally do those. But like I said, you don't get much of a chance when you're a starting character for that to happen. So, hence why I think this probably is one of the best ones. Like I said, once you put down a land claim block, you are taking out the ability to come back here and re-loot it. But for a base like this that could last you a serious length of time, I'd be willing to take the hit on that. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Like I said, you have to go about things your way, and maybe you're just here, to have a look at the decorating stuff, and that's fine too. Maybe it gives you a few ideas for your base, or maybe it just shows you, what a gratuitous waste some decorators like myself will go to just to have a very pretty and very nice base. One thing I am going to mention before I go is I have the dew collectors on top because that's what you'll have access to in vanilla, but I'm actually also using Little Red Sonja's plumbed in solutions, which allows you to have these. Now you unlock them at crafting level 15 of benches, so when you get plumbing, and these do not produce heat, which, to be honest with you, personal opinion, I think the fact that your water, your dew collectors and that create heat, that's stupid. That is just stupid. Anyway, so you can have lovely plumbed in solutions like this. There is a variant helper. That means you can choose from a selection of sinks to match your kitchen. Here we have, you can create murky water. It's as simple as that. Murky water, I would like, let's have 10 murky water, please. Craft. There we go. So that's going to be crafting murky water for me now. So when I come back, it will be in here. And obviously, as you get a higher level, other things will become available to you. You'll actually be able to stop that now. You can actually be able to craft the mods in here. And I think the level caps are there. So you go at level 15, you can do the basics. So murky water, bucket of water. If I remember rightly, level 25 is for water, I think, and then level 50 for pure mineral water. So if you don't want it game breaking and you want it to fit in with the game, you can do that. I believe there's also an option where you can have it all just unlocked if you wish. So as per usual, plenty of options. Like I said, I am going to leave a link down below for the mods that I've used, and yeah, hopefully that's giving you some ideas and showing you a nice little starter location for your 7 days to die. Now obviously yours is going to be somewhere different from mine because I'm using a different map, and your map will be most likely different from mine. But Butcher Pete is a vanilla POI, can be found in a lot of green zones, almost anywhere. So yeah, feel free to steal any ideas from this you wish. You're not even stealing, it's just a sharing of ideas. And like I said, mods will be in the description below, so if you want to use any of those, go ahead, feel free. And if you want to ride in style, again, I feel violated. Sonja, why? The Barbie Davidson. So wrong. So wrong.